Amelia. Every high school senior at my school is required to complete a senior project of their choosing. This is the story of my senior project. Part 1. Background. I was so excited I started a year in advance. I wanted to take one of my favorite children's books and turn it into a short play. I wanted to make an educational tool to teach young children about environmental science and world cultures. I studied for many years with a theater company, so I felt confident that I could pull this off. My favorite children's book growing up was Lunch with Aunt Augusta by award-winning children's author and illustrator Emma Chichester Clark. The story follows 3 ring-tailed lemurs, Hubert, Gerald, and Jemima, in Madagascar. The little lemurs travel to visit their Aunt Augusta for lunch, where they have a wonderful time. But because she's eaten too much, Jemima falls behind her brothers on the way home and has to rely on other animals in the forest to get back to her family. After receiving permission from the author to turn her book into a play, I went to work. I researched native habitats, native plants, native animals, and the Malagasy, the people of Madagascar. I sent my play to a scientist who really knows about lemurs, Dr. Alison Jolly in England. She was very supportive. She spent a lot of time in Madagascar and gave me great ideas to incorporate into my script. I sent a copy of my play to the Embassy of Madagascar in Washington, D.C., and the Consulate of Madagascar in California. They were both really supportive. The staff at the embassy even shared some of their favorite recipes with me. I shared copies of my script with friends and professionals everywhere I could. I received great feedback and I used it all. A friend and educator in Colorado encouraged me to write a teacher's guide for the play, which I began designing. I really appreciated the time and effort that came from so many professionals in so many different locations. I was ready to bring this play to life. My next step was to confirm a performance space. I wanted to step into the community and reach as many children as possible. I knew my best bet would be to use a theater in one of our county libraries. Last year, I attended a library meeting and spoke about my project. The deputy director said he felt sure they could find a way to work with me. Feeling confident, I sent a proposal to the deputy director and the youth services coordinator to use a library theater to offer free performances of my play. Then I turned my focus to finding actors. I approached the drama club at my school. After all, I was supposed to involve the student body in this project, right? Well, the drama club wasn't sure. They had a number of plays they were already thinking about and couldn't give me a decision on mine. So I dropped the idea of using students from school for my play. Instead, I would just invite them to come and see my play. I looked for creative solutions to find actors. I thought about community involvement again, and that led to contacting the Boys and Girls Club. I met with a program director who liked my idea and asked me to send a proposal. I began drawing up simple costume designs. Everything was really starting to come together. Part 3. The Bomb Drops. Everything was going great when I received an email from the library. They rejected my proposal to use any of their theaters for my play. They said that while my project had a literary basis, it was outside the scope of their programming goals. You see, my project involved environmental and scientific content, and that was not a part of the library's priorities. I went back to the library to see how much it would cost if I simply rented a library theater. There was an hourly theater rental rate, the cost of a technician, and the cost of $1 million liability insurance policy for the day. The total cost would be $1,770. I came up with a counter proposal. I offered to pay the technician fee and the liability insurance in exchange for an agreement to waive the theater rental fees. This way, the library didn't make money, but they also didn't lose money. They rejected my offer, knowing that without the library's support, the Boys and Girls Club would fall through. I checked out every other performance space in town. Everything was either too expensive or too far away. I shared my frustration with a friend who told my story to a school superintendent. The next thing I knew, phones started ringing, emails were sent, and a lot of misinformation went back and forth. Everyone seemed very upset. The school district seemed under the impression that my school has a full theater, which it doesn't, and that I was not working with my own school administrators, which I was. The further I went with this project, the further away from its purpose I seemed to get. I had wanted to share a love of nature and culture and theater with children. I felt caught in the middle of a political struggle I didn't understand. So I made a decision. Part 4. My decision. I'm a big fan of happy endings, so I made a decision that I would no longer try to push my project on a community that did not want it. Instead, I would use this project as a seed, and I would plant that seed in places I hope it will grow. I decided to provide the script and teacher's guide to my school in hope that they may one day make use of it. With the approval from Emma Chichester Clark, I will provide copies to educators, theater groups, and zoos. And number 5, please support environmental education. There's a lot of talk that kids today suffer from being disconnected from nature. But students have very few opportunities to learn about or experience nature. In our schools, environmental education isn't considered as important as chemistry or physics, which is sad because the state of our economy and the state of our health and well-being are all connected to the state of our environment. Environmental education shouldn't just be about climate change or recycling. It's the excitement of seeing a flower bloom in unexpected places. And it's about observing animals. Well, I've done my part. I'm hoping you do yours. Thank you for watching.